Okay, we're talking Jalen Hurts' legacy, where he is with the all-time greats as far as his Super Bowl appearances and performances.
What did Jalen prove to you, Nick?
All right, so quick story, if I may. Saturday night before the Super Bowl, late. I'm at the Clutch Sports Party. Having a good time. I don't work the next day.
Yeah.
A few drinks like most people are. And a woman walks up to me and says, I need to ask you one question. Why do you talk so bad about Jalen Hurts? I was like, well, I don't think I talk bad. And she was not budging a bit. It's like, no, you do. And I was like, well, let me tell you the good things I've said about him. I actually referenced the college thing. That's not what I'm worried. And once this goes on for 5, 6, 7 minutes, I have a little moment of clarity. I say, ma'am, can I ask you one question real quick? She said, yeah. I said, are you Jalen Hurts' mother? She said, yes, I am. And it went on for another 15 minutes where I think very cordial but intense mother defending her child against someone who she thinks has been unfair to him. And she ended it with this. She said, I just want to know what you're going to say when he wins tomorrow. And because I'm me, I'm like, well, if he wins. And then she says, no, when he wins. And I said, well, I've got to see how he plays. But I promise I'll be fair. So, to Mrs. Hurts and to anyone else, he was phenomenal. The Chiefs did do the thing that I think anyone who was confident the Chiefs would win thought, stop Saquon and you win. That's the one thing they did effectively game plan-wise. And it didn't work because Jalen made every play that was asked of him. It's the second Super Bowl he's played in, great in both. It's the fourth conference championship game or Super Bowl he's played in. He's been great in 3 of them, and the one he wasn't great, he didn't have to be. It was the game Purdy got knocked out of, and that game was basically over immediately. And so he is as impressive as a leader as just about anyone in the sport, and the team he leads just had, in my opinion, a top 5 all-time Super Bowl performance by a team as far as what they did on both sides of the ball. So we were debating this last week. To me, this is what I will say about Jalen. Because I do value the winning, I do value the toughness, and I do value the big game stuff. I don't view it as a big 4 quarterbacks in the league. I think it's now 5. I think he is. I think it is unfair to say that Joe or Lamar or Josh are just definitively, clearly in a different class than Jalen. I think he's got to be in that class. No, at the bottom of the class, sure, but in that top 5. And so that's what I would say.
That's saying a lot. Wow. Well, look, I've said for a long time now, and I think all of us have, that Jalen Hurts is a winner. All right? But that's always been based on his leadership, his demeanor, his professionalism, the way he carries himself, his intangibles. But now he actually has that tangible reward that says, yes, he is indeed a winner. And you mentioned that you showed some graphics with his Super Bowl performances. And I compared him to, well, I didn't want to get to it this quickly, but here you go. You talked about Russ. You like the Russ comparison I made last week, Nick. I compared him to Bradshaw. And I like the Bradshaw comparison too. And I know Bradshaw won 4, but Bradshaw his regular seasons weren't all, like, he made the Pro Bowl only 3 times. He often, several years, had more interceptions than touchdowns. I get it was a different era, but he was always at his best in the Super Bowl and made the big plays when they need him. Look at his passer rating. Again, different era, so the passer ratings were lower back then, but still, he jumped from a 71 passer rating in his regular season career to 112 in the Super Bowls, which.
So I just wanted to chime in real quick, show this graphic. Terry Bradshaw was before my time. So I have to just go by Brew's word. I didn't see Terry Bradshaw play. I was a baby. I was in diapers when he retired. That last Super Bowl he played in against the Rams, the 1979 season, but it was played in 1980. I was born in 1980, later that summer, so that was even before I was born. So I just wanted to point that out. I really have no frame of reference with Terry Bradshaw.
One of the best ever. And look at Hurts. He does the same type of thing. You mentioned the conference championships. Now we have the 2 Super Bowls. This guy, going along with the winner label, is at his best when he needs to be. And he's proven that to us this year even. Against Washington in the conference, championship game, played well. Against Pittsburgh after A.J. Brown and others questioned his passing, played well. This game, the Chiefs, you're right, they shut down Saquon. Saquon averaged like two yards a carry. But Jalen did what people didn't think he could do, which was kill him with his arm and his legs. And so, those passer rating, that doesn't even account for his 4 running touchdowns in 2 Super Bowls. So I agree he's a winner. And I do think it's still a big 4. And I think Jalen, that 5th spot is always in flux.
So
it could be Jaden, it could be Jalen. But he's got the Super Bowl, so if you want to put him in. So
just real quick, the reason to me there was a clear 5th, and it was Stafford. And so it's not fair for Stafford's big argument is the only active guy to win the Super Bowl other than Mahomes. Well, Jalen beat Stafford this year, and Stafford turned the ball over. And now Jalen beat Mahomes and won the Super Bowl. So, to me, maybe it's harder for you because you didn't have Stafford 5th.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I can't. If I had Stafford 5th, and now Jalen's done this, and you assume Jalen's, on the upward trajectory, and Stafford's holding on because of age, to me, that's a fair spot that can be his.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I didn't mute my mic, so that whole last part echoed. Anyway. Yeah, he's above Stafford. I don't even know why people are still keeping Stafford on the list. Why? Because my light fell. I don't know why people are still keeping Stafford on their lists. Because he won a Super Bowl a few years ago, so what? He had a career of not winning anything, won a Super Bowl with a stacked roster, and hasn't won anything since. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's not top 5. He's like a middle-of-the-road quarterback. I would take Allen over everybody, but I could see the argument for Mahomes because his resume speaks for itself. So we'll go Mahomes, Allen. I'd go Burrow because he's the best pure passer, I think, in the NFL. Lamar, Jalen. Those are the top 5, that order. I wouldn't put anybody else in there anywhere near them. It's 5, and then there's everybody else. And the difference between 1 and 5 is not it's not like you have number 1 here and number 5 way down here. No, it's close. It's close. And Jalen, I think he's gonna pass. I think he's gonna pass some of these guys that are ahead of him too. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.